I don't think they deliberately are giving bad advice. I think it's one of these situations where they're describing what makes them feel comfortable instead of what makes them feel attractive.
Do women purposely give bad dating advice? Thank you for the super chat, Jake. Yeah, do I think some do, but I don't think it's conscious. I think that women are just, yeah, I don't think it's conscious. Like, I think that they're just repeating what sounds good to them, even though if it might not work on them. They'll always say, well, I'm the exception. Oh, but I'm different. But newsflash, most girls are not different. But yeah, I think they're just repeating what sounds good, rather than, like, I don't think they're consciously. Most of them are not consciously sitting there thinking like, okay, I'm gonna fuck over these men. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think they're honestly confused too. Like sometimes they say like they've been told what they want their whole life, what they want, and it doesn't always equal like what gets them turned on, what gets them really attracted. So I think they're saying one thing and then they're like, oh fuck, I'm back in the same situation. You know, this guy's turning me on or something like that. I don't think it's conscious at all.
Yeah, it's certainly not. So I want you to consider like the idea of women competing with other women for men. There's one study that showed this one guy. There showed several guys, and these guys averaged. Women asked, "Is this guy attractive?" About 59% of men, 59% of women said that these guys were attractive when they found out he was single. When they found out he was taken, it was 90% of women found him to be attractive. Women competing with other women for men is good advice. But it's good for us and it's bad for women. If you ask women, often they'll tell you that isn't good advice. So they don't,
Yep.
I don't think they deliberately are giving bad advice. I think it's one of these situations where they're describing what makes them feel comfortable instead of what makes them feel attractive, because explaining to a woman what makes her attracted to men is like explaining water to a fish. She can't envision not being attracted to someone. She can't envision being attracted to someone she's not attracted to. From her standpoint, attraction is just this fuzzy feeling that just sort of manifests inside of her, instead of like, whereas men, we have to work so much harder. We actually study attraction. Women rarely do. So I think that's where that's a little bit different.
Yeah, I agree with this. I think like if you look at all the studies that are survey data that ask what women want in a man, okay, you get a lot of this like, yeah, he needs to be 6'4", he needs to earn over 100K, all this bullshit. But if you actually just look at the data of who women are dating on average, obviously it's not that. And so I think like what women say they want is often not what they want. But I will say, like if we think of someone that, you know, Austin was dating, the girl with the 6% fucking psychopath reading, I think if you're dating a girl, a lot of times they will try give you information that will keep you away from getting other women. Like I've experienced this where girls be like, no, I really like this on you. You should really wear this. Or like, don't worry, you don't need to go to the gym. Or like, yeah, you should. Like,
poison dripping.
If you're, sorry, what was that?
Yeah, poison dripping.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like if you're with a girl and she's the one giving you advice, I 100% wouldn't fucking listen to that. But yeah, I think a lot of the time they just don't know.
Yeah, she's not going to put herself in a position that's going to disadvantage her, and she might not even realize that she's doing it. She's also not. It's like the deer's not going to teach you how to kill deer. Like it's really difficult. She's going to tell you things like, again, if a woman is attracted to a man, she's going to say, I want him to bring me flowers. But what she wants is a man she's attracted to bring her flowers. If the average guy or if a homeless guy brought her flowers, she would think it was fucking weird. If a guy she's attracted to came to her work and bought her flowers, she would think it's sweet. If a man she's not attracted to would come and bring her flowers, she would think he's a stalker. And so that's the difference. It's like, but they can't see that when you explain that to them, they're like, oh yeah, obviously. Duh, obviously, but they don't see the difference because they're not men. They can't conceive of being attracted to someone they're not attracted to. Whereas we as men have done this several times. Every one of on this panel have women not be attracted to us and then become attracted to us. And if you ask them, they can't even explain why.